Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So Michael Jackson's biopic came out a little while ago, and I thought I would share with you guys one of the songs that really stood out to me. And this is a classic. Everyone knows this song. And I wanted to potentially jump into a series where I break down some of his most iconic songs and why they make us feel the way that they do. So the first song I wanted to jump into was Human Nature, because it is one of those classic songs that is beautiful, but at the same time, it's also very simple. And I also want to understand, why do we, and no pun intended, but why do we have such a close affinity and connection and feeling to this song? And I started to look just a little bit deeper into who wrote the song, the selection of chords, and understanding just the music and the artistry behind the song itself. Because we understand the lyrics, we understand the artist, who is Michael Jackson, probably the greatest of all time. But from the musician standpoint, like, what can we pull from this, and why are these chords chosen? And that's really what I wanted to dive into in this lesson. So if you guys want to hop on in, just relax, sit back, and let's break this down. And we're only just going to focus on the intro and the outro. I can also break down the entire video if you guys want to leave your feedback in the comment section. But I wanted to make this into a series where we can just dive into some of the songs that have really made an impact, not only on just music, but also we have just a close affinity to. So, and this is one of those songs that I feel we all have a connection to. So let's go ahead and dive right into this one. Now, this song is in the key of D major. All right. Now, this song does something that's quite interesting. So when we first start to play this song, it doesn't start on what people would normally do if you are starting to play a song in any key. So music has this thing where it likes to go in cycles, and it has a starting point and an ending point. Most of the time, it starts on the first tone. So if we're in the key of D major, it generally speaking wants to start on the D and then end on the D. So it's going to do some stuff like go up here and then come back to the D, and that's what we call home. It has this feeling of trying to come home. So going into Human Nature and the emotional connection that we derive and kind of pull from it, the song does something quite interesting. So I believe that when Steve Porcaro, Quincy Jones, and Michael Jackson got together in a room, they really thought this through, because it shows in the chords that they picked for this. So if you look at it, the song actually starts on what we would call the fourth tone. So this is very unorthodox for a song to start on, and kind of harken back to human nature, which can also be very unpredictable. We have a vast array of human experiences, highs, lows, and everything in between. So what way to start off human nature by doing something that's a little bit more unpredictable? So it starts on the 4. And I just want to break that down real quick. So why start on the 4? The 4, generally speaking, in music has this very euphoric, dreamlike, and suspended feel. So this is used a lot in R&B, neo soul, and gospel, and one of my favorite chords, really, because it has a very dreamy like state. So you hear that from the get-go. When you hear the song for the first time, it's already starting in this dreamlike state. So I'm kind of pulling the emotions already, even beyond Michael Jackson singing anything. Just if you just hear the chords, they already take you to another place, and that's the kind of feeling and connection that I really want to kind of explore and try to figure out why we have this connection. And it made sense. When you start on the 4, it creates a suspense, euphoria, dreamlike state, and it's unpredictable, like human nature. All right, so the first chord here is like a G major add 9. Very simple. So G, D. The next chord where you go up to is what we would call the 5, and this is the A major chord here. This is predictable. We expect it to go up. All right, so, and this is an A major chord, and most of the times, musically speaking, we might go up this way, which is like a B minor 7, or go to an F sharp minor 7. But Steve Porcaro does something interesting here. Instead of going, we go, and I think that's it. That's really the magical chord that really takes us into like a different headspace and emotional space. This is outside of the key, and this is outside of what we would call a diatonic chord. And diatonic chords are just chords that come naturally from the scale. So that would be like a, those are the chords that we expect. But anything outside of that is a little bit unpredictable, like human nature. So if you guys see that, that's so sweet right there. So if you're able to analyze that, your brain is kind of doing something interesting. As musicians and non-musicians, we know what sounds good to our ears. Even as a non-musician, you know this shouldn't be here. And it kind of creates this happy, sad kind of feeling, like very melancholic, but at the same time also very euphoric. And that's pretty. So that's like an F major 9 here. Should not be there. And that's really the magical chord, I would say, really does the job to kind of convey the message. And again, you'd be wondering why. So similar to the song, like, why would you play this chord here? And I think, again, when you think about how they produced this song, you can tell that they really thought everything through. The producers behind the song, because it just goes beyond the chords. The placement is just as important, and emotionally we know something is happening. And for the people who are non-musicians, they accept it because they understand that musically it's not too far out the water, that you're not left like astray, like you're not left to go drown at the deep end. It's still keeping you in by resolving on what we would call another diatonic chord on the 2. All right, so I just wanted to dive into this, and if you guys like this type of content, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. I can create the whole tutorial as well, and I'll put that in the lab, but I wanted just to explore this. And also, I think what also makes it magical as well is that outro that he has, which kind of goes like this. All right, that would take you into the verse, but I just wanted to show you just like why we have maybe this kind of connection to this song, because it goes beyond the words. It actually plays into how it was produced. The chords, the placement, it really does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and it's, again, it's magical, and I think that's really why we love this song. But yeah, so let me know if you guys like this type of content. I want to do a series on this, finding out different artists and different musicians, and starting with the King of Pop and figuring out how they produce a lot of these songs and the placements, and see if we can recreate it, and also just teach you some history if need be as well, just to kind of show you how all this stuff works. So we're going to end this here. If you guys like this type of content, again, go ahead and like, sub. We're almost at 100K, so let's go ahead and do it. And if you guys want to leave recommendations, you can also join the school community, where I'll be able to follow up and be able to take your feedback. So, and be able to take your feedback on songs that you want to hear, chords that you want to learn. So it's kind of hard sometimes when you kind of leave it in the comment section, but if you leave it in the school community, chances are going to be a lot higher for you guys to get your requests answered. So go ahead and leave your feedback in the comment section as well. We're going to end this here, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.